I'd like to call the meeting to order. Welcome here, everyone. And today I have the opening, so I just wanted to talk about a little bit about the summer. We're having a beautiful summer, amazing weather, and something Lori and I have started doing this year is we've tried to get out every night for at least a walk or a bike ride. And we have been going through our city and getting on the different pathways we have and the loops, and we've been enjoying them so much. And I just thought I would talk a little bit about our pathways and our active transportation plan. Right now, the existing network, Steinbach has over 55 kilometers of recreational and multi-use paths, trails, and sidewalks. I think that's significant for a community. I mean, we can always have more because there are places where we can't link through a bike path. But whether you're going through 80 Penner Park, LA Barkman Park, Bush Farm Trail, or the south drainage, the north drainage through Deerfield, or the south drainage through the Meadows, every path that the city has put up is just it's I don't know, they're just so very, very nice. They're scenic. They just work. They loop. There's 4 nice big loops that you can do in the city. Plus, there's also 4 linear routes that will get you from place to place. As of 2021, only 7.1% of residents commute by walking or biking. Luckily, in the evening, there's many, many more people using the bike paths because they're very, very full. 91% of our residents use cars, 81.5 as drivers, 9.3 as passengers, and over 50% of our commuters have commute times of less than 15 minutes. So I think that alone is a good reason to actually get on your bike to commute. One of the things that is coming up, and it keeps coming up, I think Council, you can concur with me, the use of electric bikes and electric scooters. And we find them often on our sidewalks and our pathways, and they're driving quite a bit faster than what we are on bikes or walking. And there are a lot of people that are coming and talking to me, and it's a safety concern. So at this time, we do not exercise our ability to control bicycles in Steinbach through a bylaw, but we do encourage people to follow the Manitoba laws for bicycles found in the Manitoba Highway Traffic Act. And I'll give you a couple samples of some of the highway traffic rules. So no headphones while driving on a roadway, no helmets are required for power assist bicycles. Hand signals are encouraged to inform others of driver's intent at an intersection. All bicycles, including power assist, must obey traffic control devices such as stop signs. You must be 14 years of age to operate a power assisted bicycle, and no bicycles with tires greater than 16 inches in diameter may operate on a pedestrian sidewalk unless it's a wider pathway designed for bicycle traffic. And we do have many of those pathways in our community. So one thing I do want to ask today is that we, as residents of our city, we exercise bicycle safety when we're out, walking safety as we are walking. And I think I would encourage everyone to get out, ride their bikes, go for walks. It's good for physical health. We have such a great city, and since nothing is really that far away, it's great to be on a bike. It's great to be walking. Well, unless maybe there's snow, but I do know there's many people that do bike when it snows in the winter. That's a little bit scary for me. I just I see bad things happening when I think of bicycles and ice, but that's it. I don't want to leave with one more thing. The CAA has some recommendations on, there's 5 tips. I just want to leave you with these 5 tips for, it's just safe riding on e-bikes and e-scooters because they're becoming a concern, and I do see them as a safety concern on our sidewalks. Before you ride, check your brakes, tires, and lights. Protect yourself by always wearing a helmet and dress to be visible. Always ride sober and distraction-free. While you ride, start slow, stay alert, ride solo and in single file. Be aware of any road rules and be mindful of pedestrians and for everyone's safety. Please stay off the sidewalks. So, you know what? I do encourage everyone to get out there, enjoy the beautiful summer that we're experiencing. But I do also want to encourage everyone to, when they're out there, safety is our first priority. Thank you. Council, we have the agenda in front of us, looking for a motion to adopt. Councillor Penner, or Hebert, second by Councillor Swaystra. Any comments?
No comment.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, we have the minutes of July 15th, 2025, regular council meeting. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Siemens, second by Councillor Hebert. Any comments?
Nothing further.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, is there any business arising from the minutes?
None.
Okay, seeing none. We need a motion to excuse Councillor Susan Penner and Councillor Damian Penner.
Do that.
Councillor Siemens, second by Councillor Hebert. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, we are at 7:35, so we will go directly into the public hearing. We've got 6A. This is Variance V-2025-14. This is referring to 22 Country View Lane. At this time, I will close the council meeting, open the public hearing. Mr. Workteam, could you please introduce this file?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The application for variance under file V-2025-14 is being applied for by Jordan Lowen, with the owners of the property being Laverne and Kimberly Papel. Notices, as are required by the Planning Act, have been issued. The applicant, the owner, just prior to the public hearing, has provided administration with 4 items of correspondence, all indicating support for the application. The purpose of the variance application is to permit an overall site width of 62 feet, whereas the RR Rural Residential Zone requires a minimum site width of 100 feet. The applicant is in process of subdividing a single lot off of the larger existing parcel, and the proposed subdivided parcel requires a variance for the overall site width. Insofar as the application itself, the proposed lot to be created does require a variance. However, unfortunately, administration had an oversight for this file, and just prior to this public hearing discovered that the resulting residual lot would also require a variance for its required site width. However, the components and the public notice required for that required variance application were omitted from the original advertising. So what I would what administration recommends is that that council, when considering this particular variance application for a decision, that council complete the public hearing for this particular variance application. However, once the public hearing is concluded and the public hearing is closed, that a decision on this matter be postponed until such time as a further public hearing can be scheduled for the residual lot. And at that time, recommendation would, from administration, would be for council to consider the decision on this public hearing and the future anticipated public hearing at the same time. In any event, for this public hearing, for this particular file at 22 Country View Lane, recommendation from administration is for council to approve the application.
Thank you, Mr. Workteam. Is the applicant here today? Do you wish to speak?
I'll answer questions if there are any.
Okay. I'll ask, Councillor, are there any questions for the applicant? Okay, I see none at this point. Okay. Okay, then we will, next, is there anyone here with comments, questions, or objections to this file? I'll ask again. Is there anyone here with comments, questions, or objections to this file? I'll ask one more time. Is there anyone here with comments, questions, or objections to this file? Okay, seeing none. I will then, close the public hearing and open the council meeting. Council, as administration has suggested, that we postpone a decision on this file until we've had the public hearing for the residual property that's left over. So tonight, there will be no decision made, but we will be making this decision at a later date when we review both parcels, okay? So, thank you very much. That is the public hearing. Thank you. There is no delegation. We've got reports and recommendations from city manager. This is 8A. This is Southwood School request for school zone safety improvements. Council, there is a extra package in the agenda. Mr. Workney, could you please introduce this file?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Earlier this year in March, representatives from the Hanover School Division and particularly Southwood School submitted a letter of request for council's consideration respecting the designated school zones surrounding the Southwood Elementary School. Direction from council to administration at that point was to take that request back and complete a report along with recommendations. Those recommendations and report are now provided to council for council's consideration. Just briefly, the principal of the Southwood School submitted the letter on behalf of the school requesting council's consideration for several items. Firstly, was to expand the reduced speed school zone along Craker Avenue, where it abuts the school property, and one or more of several additional enhancements as are provided in the report. As provided by the city's engineer, there was an analysis or a reanalysis completed of the school safety zones surrounding the Southwood School, and particularly on Craker Avenue. As was determined when the school safety zones were last reviewed in 2014, the overall rating to determine what kind of signage and school zones were appropriate for the area were reviewed again. There was no change to have been determined from the review in 2014 to the one that was completed this summer. At any rate, there were several recommendations provided by administration, as is found in your administration or in your agenda package. Firstly, recommendation from administration is that school area signs be installed along Craker Avenue. As is noted in the diagram that was provided in council's package. A copy of that sketch is also presented up on the screen. Secondly, a recommendation that the school relocate its pedestrian opening along the fence that fronts on Craker Avenue to the south corner of the schoolyard at the corner of Craker and 3rd Street to more appropriately direct pedestrians to an area of the sidewalk that also contains a pedestrian crossing along 3rd Street. And thirdly, that landowners be instructed to cut back or remove any landscaping along the Craker Avenue segment that may be causing some obstructions to visibility of vehicle traffic. One point that I would like to make is the worksheet that the City of Steinbach uses to evaluate whether or not a reduced speed school zone is appropriate is a standard document. As far as the analysis, should Council wish to consider the installation of an expanded reduced speed school zone, one point that I would like to make is that if those zones are amended, that would require an amending bylaw, because those school zones are currently represented as designated areas under the city's traffic bylaw. That was more just for a point of information.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ortine. Okay, Council, we've got the report in front of us. We had the letter previously. We have the recommendations. Council, how would you like to proceed? Councillor Swagstra.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will make the motion to adopt the 3 recommendations made by staff with one exception, and that for recommendation number 1, where it says install school area signs, I would replace that with to create a reduced school speed zone along Quaker Avenue where it fronts the school. So recommendations 2 and 3 continue exactly as stated, but but as part of the motion, I'm putting in that it's an actual reduced speed school zone as opposed to simply school area signs. So that's the motion, and if there's a seconder, I'll then explain the rationale behind it.
Okay. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Hebert. Go ahead, Councillor Swagstra.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is in response to a request that we received from Southwood School several months ago. I think the city has done our due diligence in making sure that we gather information and get the appropriate analysis done. And I think our staff and our city engineer in particular has done an excellent job at outlining some background information, giving us some details here. Just to refresh everyone's memory, the request that was made from Southwood School was for 2 items. First, a reduced school speed zone, which of course is part of the motion, and then 1 or more pedestrian crossing enhancements, and they had listed 5. And I would just note that the 5th one that they'd said was, or another safe crossing treatment is recommended by the city, and that's where recommendations 2 and 3, I think, come in quite effectively. The big item here, of course, is the reduced school speed zone, because that is a significant change. We don't change areas to school zones lightly. It is something that we obviously have to deliberate on carefully, because reducing speed to 30 kilometers an hour certainly does affect traffic flow. As the city manager had noted, a key aspect in analyzing this request is looking at the guidelines for school and playground zones and areas. These are national guidelines that we use to look at, we look at a variety of factors, and there's actually a scoring sheet that our staff have done. And I would just note here that in terms of where the score ranks, anywhere between 65 and 80 out of 100, it qualifies for school area, which you can think of it as a recommended slowdown, and it would also qualify for actual school zone, a mandatory slowdown. So the staff ranked it at 68, which means that it could be school area or school zone. I think when we factor in that we are receiving an official request from the school, we know that the student population is increasing, it's not decreasing. And we already have a school zone along the other street that fronts Southwood. It makes sense to have that portion of Quaker, and again, only the portion of Quaker that actually borders Southwood School, making that an actual school zone. Because when we're in a situation where it's on the edge, where but it meets the threshold, but it could be a bit below, I think it makes more sense to err on the side of safety. That's why I'm putting in the motion for having the actual school zone along there, which of course, as the city manager noted, that will mean a bylaw change at a later point. What are the other 2 parts of the motion? Well, these are specifically from recommendations made by staff to try to, again, further enhance safety. So recommendation number 2, which is part of the motion, says, recommend that the school relocate its fence opening to the south corner of the schoolyard, which is a safer crossing point, and would significantly reduce the number of pedestrians crossing Craker Avenue at the Southwood Drive intersection and bus loop exit. And then it points out here that it's not an ideal location for stop control. And so the suggestion here is that when you combine this with having the school zone, that if you change where the fence opening is to a better access point, that is as noted here in their request, another safe crossing treatment is recommended by the city. This is what the city is recommending as a way to enhance safety, have a better, safer spot for children to be able to cross. And then number 3, as part of the motion, and as from the staff recommendation, the landowners be instructed to cut back or remove any landscaping in the Southeast Craker Boulevard that's affecting visibility. I just checked out that area myself recently. I see exactly what they're referring to. There's some big trees, and they tend to grow and they expand outwards, and that affects visibility. And so we need to make sure that some of the sections there are cut back so that we have proper visibility. But again, the key part of the motion is putting in the school zone as reduced speed school zone as per requested. I think this is a reasonable approach. I think it generally fits along with what was requested for safety reasons. And again, I appreciate the work that our staff have done. I think they've given us a good foundation on which we can make a decision. So I'm certainly hopeful that the motion will be passed.
Thank you. Anything further?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too would like to extend my appreciation to the administration for the comprehensive report that they have submitted. And further to what Councillor Schweitzer has said, I too agree with the recommendations with the amendment of the school area signs be school zone signs instead. What is of importance to council and obviously to the school board is the safety of our children. And I think this, the recommendations here will enhance that safety. Thank you.
Anything further of council? Anything in closing? Well, council, I will support the motion as well. I think it's a good motion. I think it covers the basis. It's a great start. I do want to thank the principal and the school division for reaching out to us, and I want to thank our administration. They spent some time on this. They wanted to do this right because they knew that the safety of our children is here at risk. And I think that we've come up with a very balanced approach and something that'll work well and into the next generations. Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, council, moving on. We have administration. Accounts payable, back of the book. We've all had a chance to review. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hebert, second by Councillor Siemens. Any comments?
No comments.
Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We've got the financial statements ending June 30th, 2025. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hebert, second by Councillor Siemens.
No comment.
Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We've got 9C, excavator licenses. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hebert, second by Councillor Schweitzer. Any comments?
There's no comments.
Call for the question. All's in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, we've got 9D. This is the Steinbach Economic Development. This is the pilot project. Council, this was started in 5 years ago, and we gave it a sunset clause of December 31st, 2025, and we said in there that in June of 2025 we would make our decision whether we can continue or not. So, council, how do you want to proceed?
Make the motion that we commit to the funding till December of this year and then stop the funding. That this pilot project is then complete.
Okay, thank you. Second by Councillor Hebert. Go ahead, Councillor Siemens.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 5 years ago, we started this pilot project on economic development. There was people who ran for city council with economic development in mind, and we felt that we needed an economic development board and a chair and a person to run it. It's a very hard thing to manage, or not to manage, but to evaluate on an ongoing basis, and whether it's successful or not. This pilot project, the city has put in $65,000 a year for the last 5 years, from 2021 to current, and it was under the general direction of the Steinbach Chamber of Commerce, who was responsible for it. There was a committee appointed, and the city council was not part of that as per the mandate as part of the pilot project, but we did hear from, twice a year, we did hear from the economic development on their initiatives and so on. The reason I think we need to stop the funding is that we haven't seen the development that we would have liked to have seen, although it is hard to justify, it is hard to understand it, what exactly development programs are, and how to evaluate it. But at this point, in my opinion, if we need to keep on with the Economic Development Office, it should be run under the umbrella of the Chamber of Commerce and the funding that we provide to the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Anything further?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 7 years ago, I ran for council, and I ran for a couple of key reasons. This was one of the reasons. It wasn't the key one, but it was one of the reasons. I had people telling me that we needed an economic development office. And just watching over the last 5 years and hoping for big things to happen, I haven't seen what I was expecting to see. And I think there's a lot of duplication with the Chamber and the Economic Development Office. At the same time, we have some key business people in our community that have brought a lot of business to this community over the years. And they are the ones that are bringing business even today. So I don't see the value that I thought I would see. And for that reason, I think it's probably appropriate that we stop this funding at the end of the year. Thank you.
Anything further? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In 2018, I also campaigned for an EDO position in Steinbach. I advocated for this. In 2021, this council agreed to a 5-year program or a project with the Chamber of Commerce regarding the EDO. I have a philosophy in life, and that is I measure something based on results. Now, when I look at what has transpired, what has been achieved over these last 5 years, I do not see the results that I expected. What results was I looking for? How was I going to measure this? Some of the things I was looking at, how many outside businesses contacts were made? I've never heard of that. How many of these contacts showed interest in moving to Steinbach? I never heard of that. How many of these businesses have located or relocated to Steinbach? Again, I have not seen any results. And when I consider that, in my mind, the results aren't there. For City Council now to pay $65,000 to continue this program, I see as, I'll use the word futile, and we're not getting a bang for our buck. So I can no longer support this. We have a 5-year contract or agreement, and that is coming to an end at the December 31st. And so I think at that time that we need to end this program.
Thank you. Anything further of council? Anything closing?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think, as stated, in my opinion, the Economic Development Office, as it was laid out, did struggle to find their footing in many different areas. They went through a number of different CEOs. I think we heard vision, but that vision changed over 5 years. We heard a number of different visions on direction, where they need to go. I think we are blessed as a community. We have many of our EDOs are unofficial. They're the landowners, they're the business owners, they're the ones who attract various places and people to our community. And at this point, unless there is another argument to be made at a future council meeting by a group, I think it is important that we finish the pilot project as agreed to, but not continue it. Thank you.
Well, council, I I did not run on economic development, although as an office, but I did run on economic development. I do believe that economic development is a partnership. I think you have the people that are connected in our community, as Councillor Siemens stated, the landowners, the developers, realtors, they're connected. We've got the chamber that's connected and has the pulse on the heart of our business community. And then we've got council and the city of Steinbach and our CDC, our Community Development Corp. And I think what our job, we play a real role in development, economic development, and that is creating an environment that people want to be in, that people want to live. They want to bring their business here. They want to work here. When they work here, they want to buy a house and stay and make memories and roots and start families. And I think that is where we fall in, and I think we've done that, and I think we've done it well. And that is, I do believe Steinbach's been successful, and we've been very blessed because we have worked as a team. We have worked together with landowners. We've worked together with the Chamber of Commerce, and we have seen huge movements in economic development over the years, and I think we will continue to see that. And I think our part of the nearsightedness was to expect that one office would do it, and really, it's a partnership, it's a team thing, and that team is already there. That partnership is already there, and I know that I do believe that Steinbach will be successful in the future, and I think this is we tried it. We learned some things. I think the things that we've learned, now we can take into the future and we can become better. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, council, it's council question period. Are there any questions of council today? Okay, seeing none. There are no correspondence petitions. There's no other business. Looking for motion to adjourn. Councillor Hebert, second by Councillor Siemens. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Next regular council meeting is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Thank you.